Okay, good morning. This is Mike. Hey, thanks for jumping on with me today. I want to tell you a real short little story, just a few seconds. I'm up in Chicago visiting a friend of mine, and we're sitting in a little diner. They have these little diners downtown on every street corner, it seems, kind of like New York does. And we're in this restaurant, and the waitress comes over and she goes, "What do you want?" And so I wasn't quite ready yet, and she goes, "Okay, how about you?" Looking at my friend. "You know what you want?" And he tells her, and she comes back to me, "You ready yet, honey?" And so I just picked something off the menu, and when she walked away, I looked at my friend and I said, "Wow, she's so rude." And he kind of laughs at me, and he goes, "Mike, she's not rude. She's just busy." And I'm like, "No, she didn't come over and say hello. She didn't greet us. She wasn't patient." And he goes, "What is it with you people from the South?" And I thought, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's cultural. You know, if you live in Chicago or you live in New York City and you're out in your car and you pull up to a traffic light and the light turns green and the car in front of you doesn't go, you know what they do? They lay on the horn and they give hand signals and they yell at you, right? Not in Atlanta. In Atlanta, we go, "Beep. Would you go, please, if it wouldn't be too much trouble?" And when we go to a restaurant, we want the waiter or waitress to come over to our table and say, "Hi, my name's Mike. I'm so glad you're here. I'll be helping you today." And then there's a social greeting that goes on there. Not in New York and Chicago. There's no social greeting. If you go to the Varsity downtown, you will see they are noted for a cultural exception. When you walk up to the counter, what do they say? "What do you have?" No, "Hi, good afternoon, it's nice to see you." It's just, "What do you have?" That's their thing. And people think that's funny because it's so culturally different down here. And why am I talking to you about that today? Because in real estate, what's too much frequency? What's too much frequency? How often should you follow up with your prospects? What's too little? What's too much? And what I hear a lot is, "Well, I don't want to be annoying. I don't want them to think I'm stalking them." You are stalking them. You're a professional salesperson. It is your job to frequently follow up and stay connected in the flow with your prospects. "Well, Mike, I don't disagree with that. I just don't want to be annoying." And I think, I know, in Atlanta, Georgia, that is job one. That God forbid, anybody ever thinks that I'm annoying. That would be the worst thing that you could say about me. We're so intent on being polite with people. And the thought that we might be over-communicating and annoying them is abhorrent to us. So I want to offer you a couple concepts with this. First of all, if your content, if the reason that you're following up with me is interesting and relevant to me, the prospect, you're not annoying. It's not the frequency of your contact that's annoying, it's the irrelevancy of your contact that's annoying. If you call me twice a day to ask me if I'm ready to list my house yet, that's pretty annoying. But if you contact me twice a day with information or concepts or whatever it is that can help me get what I want, that's not annoying. If you're doing something for me that I perceive as some value, that's not annoying. Asking me if I'm ready to list my house yet, asking me if I'm ready to buy a house yet, asking me to do something for you to help you get what you want, now that's annoying, and that might happen on the first contact. Right? Hey, those of you that have ever called an expired listing or even fantasized about calling an expired listing, you know how irritable they become within an hour of the first morning their listing's expired, right? Why? "Well, you're the 50th agent that's called me this morning." That's not really why they're irritated. Because, first of all, it's always a great exaggeration. It's more like 5, and they exaggerate it to 50. But I'll just go with the 50. If 50 people had called them this morning and given them a $100 gift certificate, they wouldn't be so annoyed, would they? They would be going, wow, I just got $500, $5,000, whatever number you want to put on it, in gift certificates this morning just because my house didn't sell. They wouldn't be annoyed. They would be happy. Why are they annoyed? Because in their mind, 50 real estate agents called them and asked them to do something for the real estate agent. The real estate agent didn't call and offer to do something for them. That's annoying. So, don't worry about the frequency, worry about the relevancy of your message. Are you calling, are you making contact to help me, or are you asking me to do something for you? Now, those of you that have, and that would be all of us to some extent, you get some kind of lead generation going on. Maybe you have a home for sale and it's a sign call, or maybe you've sent a newsletter out to your geographic farm, or maybe you have some kind of paid lead generation. All of this generates leads or prospects. How frequently should I follow up with them? Well, I'm going to give you a little book to read. It won't take you long to read it. It's great for us in the real estate industry because it's double spaced with big letters. And there's pictures in there too, okay? I'm joking with you, but it doesn't take long to read, but it's very helpful. And a gentleman named Chris Smith wrote a book called The Conversion Code. And I'm just going to contend that if you're a professional realtor, you're trying to make a living doing this, there's 2 books that I think you have to read, and I don't think it's an option. And Chris's book, The Conversion Code, is one of them. And in there, Chris will give you a formula for lead follow-up. And he'll say it's 3, 2, 1. It's 3 attempts the first day, it's 2 attempts the second day, and it's 1 attempt the third day, and then they go in your CRM and you have a constant contact campaign set up from there on. Okay. The other book that I'm going to say you have to read if you're trying to make a living in selling real estate is Larry Kendall's book, Ninja Selling. Ninja Selling. If you haven't read it, I don't understand that. You have to. They're not big books. They're easy reads and they're pretty short. But Larry's going to say in his book pretty much the same thing that Chris says in his book. They're very similar messages, which is the frequency of your contacts isn't what's annoying people. It's the irrelevancy of your contacts. And they're going to give you some ideas on how to make your contacts more relevant. Okay? And they're going to try to encourage you to stay focused on what the customer finds important. And they're going to give you a daily system for follow-up. So those 2 books, I think you have to read them. We also have to understand what part of the world we live in and the cultural dynamics that go on with that, and how some of them help us and some of them actually get in our way. I'm scared of annoying people. You know, that's not really most of our problem. Our problem is we're so far away from annoying people that we're losing out on a tremendous number of opportunities. Some of us really need to try harder to be more annoying. And doing all of this, this is how we go out there and we make it happen for ourselves today.